safe. I know. Read. Well, I take it I'm live early, 3 minutes early on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. No doubt we'll be talking about, obviously we'll be talking about Middlesbrough on Saturday against Luton at the Riverside. Another 3 points for Middlesbrough. It was a difficult game. And obviously we'll be discussing England. I mean, some people out there think because I'm a non-Englishman, I've not got an opinion in England. Of course I have. We've all got opinions about everything and anything. You know, if I criticise England, people say, oh, you're Scottish, Irish, this, you're that. I'm a football fan. I live in England. I've got a lot of English mates. If England won, fantastic. If they don't, well, I'm disappointed for all my friends, and relations, my family. So I don't get it that people, anytime I prop up and have my say about England, which I'm entitled to do and I'll continue to do it, people just point the finger and say, oh, you're this, you're Scottish, and where's Scotland? How's Ireland not in it? I watch England. I live in England. I watch the Premier League football every weekend on the night. And on the Sunday I watch it. So, anyway, we'll be discussing as soon as we go live here on the Facebook Live. Obviously, we're live now on YouTube. We'll get into depth about Middlesbrough against Luton and talking about England and where did England go from here. Is Gareth still the man? Did he give it the best shot? Is there anybody out there better than Gareth? I think there's loads of debates, loads of questions, and I mean, we'll be talking about the Brazilians dancing, Ronaldo tantrums. I mean, how can Morocco end up in the semi-final of the World Cup? Fantastic for them, but dear God, what does that say about the rest of us? It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, I'm not knocking them. Imagine they go to the final. Imagine Morocco actually won it. I know there's people going, oh, well, you never thought Brazil would go early doors. You never thought Spain would go early doors, and Germany and England getting beaten in the quarter-final. I mean, that was the toughest game. But anything can happen. Anything can happen in life. But football, especially this World Cup, some of the so-called minnows and teams that you've written off and not even heard any of the players have come out and put a show on. Anyway, we're going live now on Facebook Live. Don't forget, Facebook Live I've been doing for over a year or 2 years. Thanks for joining me in Facebook Live. I've just been talking to the YouTube a few minutes early. And thanks as always to the sponsors. That's Galaxy Blinds, TGM Cars, Cornerstone, RWTA, that's Richard Wills Trading Associates, Borough Ship Museum, Advanced Utility Solutions, Cleveland Systems Engineering. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the World Cup, well, up until Saturday night anyway. But looking back at Borough, obviously I'm a former Borough player. I live here, I love Borough. And Saturday's team, I'll read it, I know it's Monday, but some people don't know what day it is. I certainly don't. The team on Saturday was Stefan, Giles, Fry, Lenihan, Smith, McGree, Howson, Hackney Jones, Fawcett and Akpom. So it was the same team that played Norwich before the international break, before the World Cup. Subs were Mort, Muniz, Dick Steele, McNair, Watmore, Roberts and Crooks. The first half hour, I thought we were second best. They looked organised, strong, passing the ball, scored a terrific goal. When it was a 20-odd yarder flew in the bottom right-hand corner. We kept chipping away, scored a good goal ourselves. Giles on the left whipped her in, and there was Akpom. Was it his 8th or 9th of the season? Great header. So that was us back in the game. No doubt, Middlesbrough, the rocket at half-time for Carrot and Co. And we came out second half. I thought we were better second half, but it still looked, we had a few chances, but still lacking that cutting edge. Made a few substitutions. And Big Matt Crooks, when they were reduced to 10 men, Matt Crooks scored the all-important goal, the winner, just like he did against Norwich. So coming off the bench. So well done to Big Crooksy. Well done Middlesbrough. It was a hard-fought victory. It was a great victory, good for morale. Whereas at Burnley on Saturday, which is a toughie. So well done the players. Well done Michael Carrick. You know, people were questioning getting into the international break. Will that stop the flow, the momentum? Well, it didn't. We kept going. So well done to them for that. Obviously, I have to switch it. Talk about anything you want, but obviously football, and then people get this perception. I mean, I do the Legends Lounge on Saturday. People get this perception. Oh, you're Scottish, stroke Irish. You're always having a go. You've got an opinion in England, more or less, that I shouldn't have. Of course I should. I'm a footballing fan. I've lived in England 38 years. My boys are English. My 2 sons are English. Some of my pals played for England. All my pals, in the main, are English. So of course I want them to do well. Foden, Grealish, Bellingham, they're the star boys for me, not just now, for the future. They really catch my attention. And England did. I mean, I've enjoyed the competition. Should it have been held in Qatar? Of course it shouldn't. I mean, the press, the hypocrisy of the press and the pundits is laughable. It really is. You know, we know it shouldn't be held in Qatar. So the biggest statement of all everybody could have made would just say, we ain't going to Qatar. We ain't going. That's our protest. It's not about we're going to wear an armband and go against the... When we go to Qatar, we all know it's in Qatar, so it's not a secret. We know they've got rights the same as us. We have to go there and respect the culture, whether we agree or not. I don't agree with a lot of things they do, but if you're going to go, you need to respect it. But instead they are fighting their armbands and taking the knee. I mean, it drives me crazy, the politics in football, the agendas, especially in this country, Britain. The hypocrisy, everybody. We've got an agenda, 3 things drummed into players' minds. You have to take the knee, you have to wear an armband, and you have to wave a Ukraine flag. Ukraine flag. I'm all for all 3, but I want to help everybody and back everybody. You know, when we wave the Ukraine flag, that's okay, but if you wave a Syrian or Palestinian flag, they want you to chuck you out, they want you fined. The Celtic fans get fined for waving it. So what's the difference? War-torn countries, kids getting blown up, murdered, killed. Dreadful. Irrespective of colour, creed, nationality, I want to support everybody in the world, not be cherry-picked and brainwashed by the FA and FIFA as to who we support and who we can wave a flag to and who we can't. It does my head in. I'm a footballing fan. I want the best for football. And at the minute, the politics are running right. Always have been. They always have been. I remember England many, many years ago, they had to do the Nazi salute. They were forced to do it. They did it. I remember Maggie Thatcher in the working class Glasgow, where I'm from, handing the trophy to Celtic, the Scottish Cup, whatever. A few of the Celtic players refused. I would have refused. Politics, football, don't go. Been in the game for years. Brainwashed, that's what I call it. And that's what we're getting. We're getting brainwashed. You have to accept that. You have to say that. You can't support that because the FA and FIFA don't accept it. Absolute bollocks. Bollocks. I'm not one of the sheep-like figures. There's loads out there. I'm not one of them. But anyway, regarding Gareth, where do we stand in Gareth? I think Gareth's a great human being. I think he's exactly what the FA crave. He's smart. He's articulate. That's my cat. He's probably, well, we know that he's not controversial in anything he says or does. I think he's did fantastically well with England. A Euro final, a World Cup semi-final, a World Cup quarter-final. People keep having a go at him. Who's out there that's better than Gareth at the minute? Seriously, who is? We know it's okay sitting in your living room couch saying he should have done this and he should have done that. He got everything right up into the France game. England could have went either way. I mean, I think they were taking the big centre forward off that scored the goal. I think Giroud, I think they were taking him off. And then he scored, and then that changes the dynamics. I felt sorry for England, felt sorry for Gareth, felt sorry for Harry Kane. I laugh at people saying, Harry Kane, why did he take it? Because he's the best goal scorer in the team. He's the coolest finisher in the team. He's top scorer in England, level with Wayne Rooney at the minute. He'll overtake that with plenty. He scores the first penalty. I hear the guys who are doing the television, the summarising, dear God, all they did was moan and groan about the referee. The referee had a few dodgy decisions, but the one, it was outside the box as far as I'm concerned. Through my eyes, I don't wear glasses, it was outside the box. It wasn't a penalty. England got 2 penalties. The referee didn't score for France, they scored 2 great goals. So 2 great goals and a penalty missed for England. Don't keep blaming the officials and sidetracking to the officials. Absolute nonsense. Anyway, Borough fans, talk about Borough. If you want to talk about England, great. Glad your cat agrees with you, Bernie. I don't think it did, Pamela. I think it was disagreeing. I'm going to backtrack because there's a few there where I was rabbiting, but as I say, let's see, where are we? Want me to buy you a new jumper from my winnings? Oh, Leslie Coates, he paid a bet on by all accounts. He actually sent me it and he was jumping for joy. No, I'd rather you sent me a few quid rather than the jumper. This jumper's okay, thank you very much. Where are we? James Mills says, being Scottish, I was proud of England's performance in the World Cup. Football will come home. Do you know what? I've been in England 38 years. And all my mates, as I say, some of them played for England. You know who they are. And I've said all the time I've been here, you never won a major competition. And so far I've been right. Do you know what? I'll predict now England in the near future will win a major competition. England are not far away. They really aren't. Excuse me, can you get the cat out? I need somebody to take the cat out. I love animals, but you can see a cat's backside on YouTube. You can't quite see it here. So being Scottish, this is for a Scotsman, James Mills. Being Scottish, I was proud of England's performance in World Cup. Football will come home. Hold on a wee minute. Come on, catty. There's the cat. See, that shows you we're live. We're live. We love animals, but the cats. So a Scotsman praising England. There you go. Come on, Bernie. You wanted England to lose. I don't know a Scottish fan who wanted England and Wales. You says to hate us or who hate it. Listen, I've never really sampled that Scotland and that they hate the English. Why should we hate the English? The English game flooded with Scottish players. Has been for many years. The great Liverpool side was full of Scottish people. Sir Alex Ferguson's Scottish. Come on, there's millions. Andy Gray. Great players came from Scotland. Billy Bremner. Millions. The list is endless. So if we hated England that much, I don't think the Scottish contingent would come down here, would they? Kenny Dalglish. Took him for Kevin Keegan. People says he couldn't lace Keegan's boots. Dear God, you're joking, aren't you? Kenny Dalglish. So come on, let's talk about Middlesbrough, England, Gareth, how well Carrick's done. Your cat's saying out in the heating, Bernie, I'm freezing. No, the heating's on. I know the jumper's on, but I'm fairly warm. Let's see, sorry. Chuba Akpom's absolutely on fire, Bernie. Arguably the best striker in the league. Darryl is at Ice Tom. Darryl, he's on fire. I'll give you that. I think he did very well since he returned. Don't forget he's been here 2.5 years, but he's really looking the part now. He's skillful. He's working hard. He's scoring goals, which is all important. I'll tell you who won't get a lot of goals. Foz works too hard, runs everywhere. Similarities to Watmore. You know, works, tracks down. Brilliant. That opens gaps for Akpom and company. But he stays up top. Akpom goes deep, gets away from the centre-backs and gets turned and faces the goal. But it was a good goal on Saturday. A question for you now. Where do you get the 20 league goals? And best straight in the league, I don't know. I've not looked at the tell me the goal stats in the league. The one with the most goals is the best goal scorer. It's not open to debate. The one with the most goals at the minute is the best goal scorer up until now. Jay Shaw say, evening Bernie, landed back from Qatar last night having watched all of England, his games out there. Gareth is an easy target. When we play well, gets no credit. When we get beat, it's pile on him. He's still the man to take us forward, and that's without the Borough bias. That's for Jay Shaw. I mean, Jay, if I say it to say it's because I'm Scottish Irish, absolute rubbish. Gareth, I'm a fan of Gareth. Do I know Gareth? I don't know him greatly. I have spoken to him in the past when he was Middlesbrough manager, when he took over, I had a private conversation. I know what to say a lot of, that's as far as I know. But what I see on the TV, that is him. Some people say he's boring. I just think he's a respectful guy, and what you see on the television is him. And I think the group of lads he's moulded, that there's no edge to them, there's no big time Charlies, and every one of them in front of the cameras come over very well. They all sound grounded. Whereas before, over the years, England were the big cheat, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. This team don't walk with a swagger. I think, they played with a bit of swagger in the tournament. Don't forget there were a lot of goals scored. So, I think he's done, and I think the boys looking at him from the outside, they respect Gareth. Gareth's been a top player, don't forget, top centre-back, umpteen caps, captain. He's no mug. He's been the player, now he's the manager. And don't forget he was thrown in to the Lions after Big Sam Allardyce lost the job for whatever reason after a game or two. Gareth was just handed the job. Was it 21s he done? And then he got handed a massive job, and I think he did fantastically well. And he's very good in front of the cameras. Don't get me wrong, he's not the most charming man in front of the camera. I don't sit there and say, wow, he's really, he's not like a Neil Warnock at Middlesbrough, who's he did something in the town hall recently, seemed like it was a packed house and he was funny as. I mean, he's a character. Brian Clough was a character. A lot of character going out of the game. Gareth's he fits the FA. Everything about Gareth fits the FA. And by the way, as far as I know, he's got a 2-year contract. I know he's away to reflect, but he's still got a 2-year contract. You come back and see him staying put. Surely the FA won't just say you're off. What for getting into the final of the Euros, semi-final World Cups, quarter-finals? I think a lot of the England fans just think England should turn up and win tournaments. Of course that's not going to happen. I mean, 66 was the last time you won a World Cup. Oh, Bernie the cat wanted to join in. I know, Anne-Marie, but I can't allow it. Evening, pal. Great win. Carrot Wotton magic. Gutted England are out. Mohammed. Hi, Mohammed. Yeah, it was a great victory for Middlesbrough. As I say, first half we had one work cut out. As I say, they were organised, were fairly tough. They were putting the boot in. They didn't let us play. They shot the Giles got one great ball in, but he was fairly muted, as was Jones. McGree did very well. I tell you what, people say to me, come on, Bernie, what's Carrick done? I've said it before the World Cup break. What's Carrick done? Simplistic things. 4 at the back. I've been shouting out for years, 4 at the back. I don't get it. Majority of people play 3, wing back, everybody does it. Well followed it. He's come in, 4 at the back. What's he done? Kept the same team. Kept the same team for Norwich. McGree's been away in international duty. Don't forget he's been on the same park as Messi. And all of a sudden he's playing against Luton. Don't know who he's up against, but playing against Luton, and it's as if he'd actually grown in stature. He's come back and said, I've played in the world stage here. He looked to business. Sunderland lost 2-1 tonight. Oh, Lizzie, did they? I know they were playing. I think, but they were not 1-1 now. Get beat 2. Carrick for England. Kev Naylor. Dear God, what is that to play or manage? Kieran J. Campbell says, could Akpom make the next Euro squad? Yeah, Akpom's English. That's right, isn't it? He was at the Arsenal, wasn't he? I was having this discussion today. He was at Arsenal as a youngster, wasn't he? Did Wenger? Was Wenger there then and praised him and says he could be an international player? Is that right? Daniel Watson says Sunderland beating off West Brom. West Brom, they're third bottom, aren't they? They're still with third bottom. Tonight is a good start to the week. I hope Gareth stays, but I feel media will drive him away. Sunderland lost. So, excuse me, Craig Dale says 6 strikers, all on 9 goals. That's a good return, isn't it? Excuse me. Chuba was given man of the match Saturday, but to me, Hackney was the difference. Been a long time since we've had as if you Connor Stevenson, a midfielder who can take the ball on, half turn and drive, look forward. Very refreshing. It is refreshing, Connor. Connor, that's what I've noticed. He came in, breath of fresh air, direct, forward thinking, doesn't overdo it in the ball, and tries to create things. So for me, started off very well. He's been rewarded with a contract, but just let's calm down. I've seen players like Hackney come in before, people raving about them, wanting statues built, stroking their egos, and then they go off the rails. Let's hope he's not another one. But that happens. Some kids, I mean, I don't know the lad's mentality. I don't know the kid. I've never bumped into him. But he's did ever so well. His feet need to stay firmly in the ground. Don't get carried away with the hype and how good you're doing in the new contract. Get the season over. Go for next season. And then build on that. Sunderland get beat. There's more people talking about Sunderland. We know they get beat 2-1 West Brom. Big smile on my face for Colin Fryer. 9-15. Bernie Fragpom, best goal return in the league at the moment. Well, okay. Ray Hoggy, it's a great return. 9-15 for Akpom. Best goal return in the league at the moment. But who's the top scorer in the league? I mean, I can look it up, but... Southgate should stay till the end of the Euros. Yeah, he signed a 2-year contract, so why shouldn't Gareth Southgate stay? I mean, I say this in the lounge Saturday and a few of them were having a go. I was saying it was, come on, this is your best op. And I was half kidding, but I was half serious. They had Benzema missing, Kanté missing, Pogba missing. There's another lad, can't pronounce his name, who was in the squad and dropped out because of injury. They had a lot of big hitters missing. Don't get me wrong, they're a top side and previous winners of the tournament. But I thought second half England did ever so well. A wee bit of luck and fortune could have went away. It didn't. As I say, Big Giroud, I think, was getting the hook and then he scores. It was similar to Middlesbrough's goal. Left-hand cross. Bang. What a finish. Big Sam, 100% win rate for England. Yeah. Hi, Bernie, you okay? Steve Sanderson. Well, yeah, Steve. What's up, man? Am I okay? Yeah. Borough won. Thoughts on Joey Barton saying Josh Coburn will play for England one day? Silly or serious? Ray Hoggy. I never heard the comments. I would take Barton's quotes with pinches of salt because Joey's off his head, isn't he? Barton. 1 minute he's laughing, the next minute he's boxing. He's like, yeah. Hey, Joey Barton. Why are you going to England? I think you should have been saying he'll get a game for Middlesbrough soon, not England. Coburn needs to get in the first team starting position for Middlesbrough before he starts talking about England. So it's probably just a throwaway comment with Joey Barton, something to boost Coburn and boost whoever. 27 points, West Brom now. Middlesbrough only have 30. Paul Gamble says, another great win, come from behind, again to win. Carrick's first home win as manager. Tough test against Burnley. Be happy with a point there. 3 wins in a row. Akpom, man, on fire. Up the Borough, Paul saying Akpom's on fire. And he is. I mean, Akpom's showing qualities I didn't think he possessed. Holding it up. Being strong. Beating a man. Getting in the box regular. Anticipating. Finishing off things. I never seen that for 2 years. He was in the team. He was hitty missy. Then he headed off. Then he returned. And now he's in the team. As I say, the combination at the minute. Foz is doing all the work. I'm not saying Akpom's not one, but Akpom's getting away for the centre-backs. He's keeping those two. He's running the backsides off the two centre-backs, and they're frightened to death of his work rate and pace. And Akpom's dropping deep, getting the ball and scoring goals. Another brilliant win, 2 games with the last-minute winners. That's a good habit, isn't it? When was the last time that happened, Bernie? Richard Bailey. It's a good habit, scoring late on in games. When you score late in games, like Norwich, like Saturday against Luton, there's nothing they can do. They can't return. Kevin Miller says, good to see you back, Bernie. Who do you think will win the World Cup? I think it'll be an Argentina-France final. And, well, it's going to be one or the other, isn't it? Bernie, you doing... That's the Kev. Anne-Marie Fraser says, Bernie, you doing any more book signings, please? Anne-Marie, I am in McDonald's again. People go, McDonald's, you're a vegan, you shouldn't. They sell vegan burgers. My mates eat meat. I am vegan, proud of it. I'm not here to ram it down your throats. That's what I am. But I'm still allowed to get into places that sell meat. I get into my local here that sell meat. My mates eat meat. If I take that stance, I won't have any mates. My mates all eat meat. That's their prerogative. That's their life. That's their decision. I'm not falling out because of it. I know people in this village, they go shooting. I don't agree with it, but that's their life. That is their mindset. That's what they do. I'm not here to convert. I only say what I am. Get on with your life. Enjoy it. I don't care what you are, who you are. I don't want things rammed down my throat, which happens in the modern day society. Everything's rammed down your throat. You have to do that. You have to do this. If you don't do it, you're pigeonholed as a this, that, or the other, which is total nonsense. Don't let them brainwash you. You're being brainwashed. You're being kidded, hoodwinked. And I can't believe the amount of people that fallen for it and fell for it. I mean, the pundits, the hypocrisy. Pundits here going over there and they give it, oh, we do this, we do that here, then they go over there and try to change the world in Qatar. They want to change their mindsets. Yeah, they're a bit behind the times, but that's their country. We have to go and respect it. But if we didn't go, that would have been the biggest protest of all. The Harry Kane carry on with the armband. What a load of pants that was. If you're going to do it, do it. Get it on. Don't care the consequences. Never get booked to a yellow card. So what? I'm doing it. This is bigger than anything. It proves it wasn't. Money, greed, power, corruption. Does my head in. If you can't see that, you're blind. Pochettino for England. Southgate's a failure. Loses every time we play anyone half decent. He will never make a manager. This is for Craig Langstaff. If he gets the boot England, no Premier League team would go near him. Not good enough. Time to move on. So let's digest it. Pochettino for England. Pochettino, young manager. What is he, 50? Does he really want to get international football? I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think. And don't forget, he's not an Englishman. And he's an Argentinian. I'm not saying that matters, but he's 50. His age matters more than anything. He's 50. He's vibrant. He's fit. He's a good talker, good communicator. Unlucky not to win the European Cup winners at Tottenham. I don't think he would touch the England job with a badge pull. I really don't. If he does, you can come on and join me one night on here, Craig. Regarding playing anyone half decent, I probably agree with that. But that's not just in Gareth's time. That over the years, how many serious teams have you played? I mean, this tournament, Iran. If you didn't beat them, you chucked it. America, huffed and puffed. Wales, a garbage at the minute. They're finished. A lot of players have finished. And then Senegal. I mean, France was your first test. It was England's first test. And they faltered and failed. But very, very slightly failed. I know, it's still defeat. It's a mentality. But the players give it the best shot. The manager gave it the best shot. As I say, it's okay sitting on your couch, having a beer, having a laugh with the lads in the pub, criticising Southgate. You should have done this, should have done that. We all do that. I do that. That's without a drink. But I just look at Gareth and I think, so hold on a minute. So you seriously, final of the Euros, semi-final of the World Cup, quarter-final World Cup, is that not better than any other manager? Obviously, you won at 66, that's something totally different. But any other managers, have they done better than that? Hi, Bernie. Carrick has done amazing well. And how he's got Borough playing well. He has, Chris. As I say, he just looks like a coolant. You know, Warnock and Wilder seem to be full on, in your face. You know, fairly loud and brash and whatever. But he looks like a coolant. He looks cool. And maybe, and the players, I'll be honest, I look at the players' demeanour and I think, they look as if they enjoy it. I know you enjoy it when you're winning. But from the off, they look as if they enjoyed it. As if the shackles are off. The pressure's a bit off. You know, just go and enjoy the game. If I was a manager, I'd be saying that. Go out and embrace the game. Enjoy the game. And shows what you've got. Don't fanny about in your own half. But when you get in an opponent's half, let's blossom. Go places. You know, you obviously come back to your starting positions, but you can drift. And I see players doing that. Hi, Benny. Carrick's done a minute. Yeah, I've mentioned that. Sorry. Akpom has declared for Nigeria. Josh. Well, there you go. Akpom declared for Nigeria. Good luck to him. Good luck to you, Akpom. Missed the game. Timmy Leachhire. Timmy, missed the game, but a happy smoggy when I landed Newcastle from Spain. You didn't tell us any tales about being over in Spain. Where were you, Timmy? Benidorm. Were you in Benidorm? I used to go to Benidorm years ago. I used to love Benidorm. I went there as a teenager. Mother and father used to take us there. I loved every minute of it. The Ponente and the Levante beach. Yeah, I used to love it. I don't know if I'd love it now. I heard it's like Blackpool. You're still wearing sombreros and you can't get a seat on the plane for the donkeys. Mind they used to bring the donkeys back. Maybe I'm just showing my age. I don't mean real donkeys, stuffed. 10 players in the championship with 9 goals. Okay, 10 players in the championship. So there you are. So there's 9 half-decent strikers. My cash is on Burnley. Well said, Bernie. Craig. I don't know what I said, Craig, but if you say well done, take it. What positions would you like to see added in the window, Bernie? Still need a centre forward to score goals. I think Foz is a workhorse. He's to be praised for that. But Watmore's a workhorse. But I don't see either getting the goals that we require and desire. Goals will get us promoted, get us in the top 6, get us automatic, whatever. I've said that for years. And obviously defence is a big help, keeping clean sheets, but we have to score more goals. Akpom, fine, what happens if Akpom gets injured, suspended, loss of form, we need other people chipping in with goals. Big Crooksy is back in the goal theme now, so that's a great boost. But we need others chipping in with goals. McGree's got a couple. Has he got 2 or 3, McGree? But still need more goals shared around the team. You can't rely on just Akpom. Because I say, he probably had a bad spell. Hopefully he doesn't, but people do suffer if he lost a form. As I say, the winter months, the cold, injuries, whatever. Red, yellow cards. Poch is not good at speaking English. That's a certainty. Did you listen to him during games? Laugh out loud, Colin Pryor. I think his English polished up, didn't it? I know when he first came in, where was he? Was Southampton? Am I right? Was it Southampton he started? It was terrible. I think he was just lazy. I don't think he even wanted to talk English. But I think he's polished up in English. He won't take it, come on. Leslie said it's coming home. It was just nipped in the bud with the France defeat. Could you imagine the glory hunters? That would have been the day after beating France. Yeah, it's coming home. It's funny because I do the Legends Lounge. I host that at the Riverside before the games, and I'm in there Saturday. I took a picture and put it on. I did ask the guy. I wasn't being rude and being paparazzi like and taking a picture behind it. A Christmas jumper on, and behind it says "It's coming home, Happy Christmas." And I said, "Big man, take a picture of that." And he says, "Yeah." Then we get a picture with our faces, but I just took the one of his back and posted it, and I just put something like, "Here we go again." Well, I was right, wasn't I? Can't blame me for that. Near Benidorm, a place called Los Montesinos. Sounds nice to me. Just wish I could pronounce it. So some of the names, I watched the World Cup and I think, some of the names. I mean, I give you Benzema not and Kante missing and Pogba, but the fourth guy, I couldn't quite get my tongue around the name. Connor Stevens says, last year, it was evident Spora wasn't the player you could hang your hat on for 15 to 20 goals. I'm not saying he is, but do you think Akpom could be that player of what you've seen? Connor, yes. Yes. If you'd have asked me before the season, I mean, it's quite easy now that he's 8-9 with half a season to go. It's quite easy to sit and say, would he get 15 to 20? If you'd have asked me start of the season, will he get 15 to 20? I'd have said probably no chance with what I'd seen. But what I've seen this season, he's reinvented himself. He's a new player. He looks confident. He looks as if he's enjoying it. He's harnessed on well with Foz up front and in the midfield, lads. And he's putting in a shift. So, yeah. Why not? Why can't he get 15 to 20? I take it you're talking league goals, or is that just goals in total? Steve Angel was at the match, very cold, half invested in heated socks for Boxing Day. Oh, Steve, it was Baltic, wasn't it? It was Baltic. Brass monkey weather. I was perishing. I had long johns on, I had thermal on in the lounges. I was roasting. And then I think there was steam coming off me like a horse in the lounges. And then outside and it was Baltic. Didn't sort of sit in 60 odd minutes and I started just, your mind goes, doesn't it? Yeah, so I would suggest anybody out there, well, football fans, well, Borough fans watching this, Boxing Day game, get the thermals on. 3 pair of socks. Make sure you get loads of socks and thermal vests and eat your porridge. You get that glow. Just watch the clip you scored on the day against Stoke 35 years ago in 1987 in front of the Holgate end. That's with Paul Gamble. Used to love Erson Park. Yeah, Paul, they were glorious days, you know. The old stadiums, I know you need to move with the times, and the Riverside's fantastic and the new stadiums are fantastic. But back then, the smell of the woodbine, the piss, the pies, the atmosphere was amazing. The pitches went like bowling greens. Some of them were scruffy, some of them were worn out, some of them were. Well, I remember playing against who was it, Preston North End, and there was ice. We had wearing the pimples. The game shouldn't have started. We seen the game out and we beat 1-0. But yeah, some part just something about it. I mean, now with the family occasion now and drinks being sold, well, has there always been drinks? Certainly pies. But yeah, I think it used to be Bovril and pies. Now, the alcohol, was that always in the game, alcohol? That's a good question, isn't it? See, my father never drank, so I never seen him. Although he took me to see Celtic as a kid, I never seen him drink, so I don't know if drink was available back then. Quote from Poch on whether he would take the England job. Of course, my relationship with England has always been very good. Craig Langstaff, this. You never know what happens. I am open to everything. Yeah, well, he's keeping all his options open. That's a clever answer, but come on. For me, he should have had the Man United job. That's where he should have went. Man United. Ideal for Man United. Any chance we could sign Gell's penalty, you think, Bernie, for Timmy? Timmy, do you know what? I'm Gell's biggest fan. Yeah, he's a bit flawed defensively, but most full-backs, wing-backs are. But what a crosser of the ball. I think I could score a few now with his service. He can whip them in. Pinpoint crosses. He doesn't cross blind. He lifts his head. He's got a number or a name on the ball when he whips it in. A lot of people, you watch some of your players over the years, they get the ball head down and just cross it. This guy actually lifts his head. He's got vision. The weight of the pass is right. Yeah, he's very, very good. Connor Stevenson, wonder if this magic man from Norwich will be able to work with Carrick and Bowser to unlock the chequebook from Gibbo's top drawer, unless he never truly trusted Wilder for the big buck moves after that Burnley stunt. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Won't be a secret. As I say, I think it's quite evident that the director of coaching of football, whatever he's called, he's obviously plays a big part in who comes and who goes. I think he's made that quite clear. I mean, when Carrick was introduced, the day he signed, he was part of it. So he's obviously not hiding that he's playing a major part in who comes and who goes. But as I said, the only way I would agree with that, being a manager, would be that when I get sacked, he goes with me. He doesn't go hiding and under the table and I get all the blame and he's brought half the players in and get rid of half the players. That's his role. I think he's openly admitted that. But surely the manager or the coach, Carrick's not a manager's coach, surely the coach just can't carry the can if this guy's playing such a major role. Bernie, do you think England will ever win anything? Always seems to miss out on the fine margin. Let's see for Matt Davis. I'll give my opinion in a minute. Miss out on fine margin games. It seems like will never happen. Well, Matt, as I was saying, I'm being serious. My mates, like Mowbray and Palace and all these guys and some former England players, I've said since I arrived in Teesside, England will win nothing. No, in their lifetime. I've said that. And up until now, 38 years on, I'm right. But you know what? I honestly think you're a midges away from it. You know what I mean? You're nearly there. I think, irrespective of who's in charge, whether it's Gareth, whether it's somebody else, I think you're in the near future you're going to win a major tournament. So 38 years I've kept saying you won't, but I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, some great kids there. Really skillful, confident, grounded, ultra talented. Couple and play under the best managers around. They can only blossom, they can only get better. And I think whether it's Gareth or whoever comes in, or I hope it's Gareth, I'd love to think Gareth could win that major tournament. But I do think England in the next 2 or 4 years are going to win something, one or the other. I really do. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. That's my gut instinct. So far I've been right, and hey, if I'm right, I might have to move out there. I like all my mates, so they'll be rubbing it in forever, a lifetime. A few texts while we're waiting. Others, Facebook Live. For John Bernie, great result against a decent looking team. Well, I mentioned that, John. They were a decent team. I say they were organised. They were fairly strong. Didn't hold back. They could pass the ball around. They got it wide. They got it in the box. The first goal was a great goal. Lad ran through the middle. He hit it bottom right-hand corner. Kid in an airplay. Mick, how do you think Carrick has turned it round in such a short time, Bernie? No, I think I've mentioned it, Mick. My what I've seen. Carrick looks total control. I'm sure he can lose it, but I think he's passing that around the dressing room. There's a coolant now, but we seem more cool and focused and enjoyment, and that's important. He's keeping the same team, and he's playing 4 at the back. It's not rocket science, simplistic things. They say football's a simple game played with simple people, complicated by fools. Well, at the minute, that's all we've done. We've had the vastly experienced. Bernie, what is your thoughts on Josh Coburn? He seems to be doing well at Bristol Rovers. That's for Stephen. This is off the YouTube now. I'll have to start interacting with the YouTube because I just try to get used to both. Josh Coburn, look, what he did at Middlesbrough in a short period, limited games, he did very well. Was it a goal against Tottenham he scored? Brilliant. Scored a few goals. I don't know how good or bad he is, I'm being brutally honest. But he deserves a goal, he deserves a chance, an opportunity. And he's a local lad. Don't underestimate Morocco. They will give France a good game and capable of winning from what I've seen. Well, can you imagine Morocco won it? Just take your blinkers off. Just think, Morocco World Cup winners 2022 Qatar. For me, that was the biggest carrot for England. When Morocco won, and they're in the semis, you think, England, we beat France. Surely we'll beat Morocco, we're in the final. We're going to win it. I was thinking, we were talking in the lounges Saturday and at the game, we're all saying that the English mates and English fans are saying, tell you what, we beat France, we'll beat Morocco. We're in the final. We'll beat no matter who we face in the final. Could have all been true, but would love to see us sign a winger, not another Amiobi though, I hope. Well, who brought Amiobi? Amiobi was here a few years ago and didn't do it, and then we brought him back, and then he fell down a hole in Linthorpe Road and never seen him again, and that was just a joke signing. And Piero, keep going on about him, shouldn't forget about him. Who brought him in? £5 million. What a waste of money. £5 million. He's back in what, Argentina playing out there. I know they were paying his wages or a fair bit of it, but he came here with a big reputation and super skillful and talented and free kick specialist, and we seen flashes, never seen him again. Keep them coming. I'll read these. I always miss these out and I feel guilty sometimes. Great to see young Hackney sign a new contract, Bernie, for Terry. Yeah, Hackney's did the business. I mentioned him earlier. Done very good. Muniz back to Fulham, you think, Bernie? Possibly, Timmy, yeah. Possibly. Yeah. No really set the header alight, and it wouldn't surprise me, Timmy. Yeah, Hackney, mentioned him earlier. Done well this season, been thrown into deep end, never let us down, looks the part, looks the business. As I say, he has to get through this season and then do it season in, season out. I've seen young kids coming in, people raving about them, and then they disappear. Rob says, I seen 40 minutes clip of your YouTube. What? Oh, your time in New York looked class. I hope to go there in February. Yeah, Rob, yeah, I'm on YouTube now as well as Facebook. If YouTube, I do videos there. I've did ones with talking to John Henry and Walco over the season, and clubs with Stewie Downing, whatever. And this time I did I've been in New York just over a week ago. Had a great time. Yeah, so obviously somebody's enjoyed it. Neil says, come on, Bernie. As a non-Englishman, how would you sum up England's effort at the World Cup? Well, I've did that throughout, Neil. I mean, I don't know if you're watching it, but I've said my bit. England did very well. Very, very unlucky. Comes down to a bit of luck, and unfortunately, France get the luck. As I say, the big man up front, Giroud, he looked as if he was getting the hook. Then he scores. And then that's it. He's a hero. Harry Kane will never understand. I mean, I watched the World Cup when I was on the bench under Jack Charlton. There was the subs and the players that weren't playing all on the bench. We played Romania to take us into the quarter-final. And I remember David O'Leary, who was a centre-back with the Arsenal, who I'd watched at half-time because he was a substitute, blazing shots left, right and centre all over the place. He was taking the all-important penalty, the one to get us to Rome to play Italy, the host nation at the time. And I was thinking, without saying it to anyone, I'm thinking, fuck it, you have no chance. You're a centre-back for Arsenal, you're a very good one, and you're a smashing player. But I've just watched it. You're not going to... Anyway, he scored. He kept his cool, his temperament, and he put it in, and I always remember him just standing there. Oh, he went to his knees, didn't he? And everybody ran round him. So, but we'll never understand the pressure these guys are under. Don't forget the Euros. Rashford and company missing them, and everybody was on their case. You're this, you're that, and how can you... Penalties. Well, hey, I've only took a handful of penalties in my career. And when I used to take them, see, it was in front of the Holgate end, which I took a couple of Holgate. One I missed, actually. Premier League, missed it against Ipswich. Last minute of the game, it was 2-2. They were shouting your Scottish white on that. I took it in the chin, I took it. But the goal goes from that to that, especially if it's crowded. And obviously, the competition, the World Cup finals, the world's watching. Kane is up against the keeper who he knows. The keeper knows his makeup. He knows the keeper's makeup. He's already beat him in this game. I'll be honest, I thought Kane would put it away. I tell you what, Harry would have... I bet he's not sleeping right, even now. I bet he's still going to bed at night, waking up 2 or 3 in the morning. And I don't mean for a Jimmy, because of the penalty miss. Do you think there will be any decent players available in the next window, Bernie? This is just his Borough fan. I hope so. We, the Borough, still need a couple of players in. Don't kid yourself. Carrick's come in, did well, but he needs to... When you're doing well, that's when you attract people in. And we hope that Carrick, like Steve McClaren, like Robbo, uses his influence with Man United and drags a couple of players in. Loan or whatever. Who would you like to see in January, Bernie? I don't know who's available. This is fair, by the way. For Connor. Listen, I still would like another centre forward, another creative player, possibly a winger. I don't know who's available. I don't know what money's available, but we need a couple of players in. And I'm not talking about negative midfielders, like we've brought in a few midfielders over the last season, I think. Why? Bernie, would you volunteer to take one in a big game shootout, Mark Davies? I would. As I say, Mark, in my career, I was fortunate to score 201 goals in my career. That was in about a 10, 11 year period. That's a fair old tally. I think I scored 6 penalties. I think I only took about 8. But I did the one that I did miss, and Borough fans of a certain age will remember, it was the Premier League, 92. That was the very first Premier League. And we played Ipswich Town, and it was last minute of the game. It was locked at 2-2. And the penalty was awarded, and I'm the goal scorer, but Gary Parkinson, and if you're religious or not, please keep saying your prayers for Parky, because he's still, as far as I know, in a difficult position. So Parky was a penalty taker, but he'd been out injured, so he comes to take the penalty, and he gets the ball, and I say, come on, I've not scored for a few games, so the pressure's on me as well, and I'm saying, listen, give us the ball. So we start arguing in front of the packed Holgate Inn on a Wednesday night in the Premier League. So I've won the argument, put the ball down, seconds to go, and I've went to place in the top right hand corner. Wasn't quite as bad as Harry Kane's, but it was bad. Flew by the sort of the bar and the post and flew into the Holgate end. And all the Borough fans shout, yeah, Scotty's fingers a lot. Anyway, whistle went, 2-2, went in the dressing room, and I had the cheating audacity to say, I told you should have took it. I told him many years later that I apologised. I was wrong. Bernie, yeah, so I would volunteer. Yeah, I would. As a goal scorer, that's what you do. You score goals. You want to score goals. You know the feeling you get. You know the success you get. But Stephen Horn on YouTube says, I was there. I hope I never hit you, Steve. I heard I hit somebody's Bovril and pie and all over them. Just looked on YouTube. I love all the goodies I can see. What are we on about, Leslie? I'll read a few of these while we're just... come on, Ben, non-England, I'll answer that. Steve says, Croatia, Argentina, Morocco, France. Who would you like to win? Well, who would I like to win? So I think it's going to be between Argentina and France. I think that'll be the final. And Argentina wins it. I can hear lots of people, Argentina. I've always liked Argentina. Do you remember Mario Kempes? Long flowing locks. As a boy in Glasgow, rough council estate. When was Kempes playing? It was 70s, wasn't it? I used to run with the ball, even if I was on my own, shouting about Kempes. Mario Kempes, he was the one that really adhered to. They won the World Cup that time, didn't they? Is that with the ticker tape they all threw the tape on? I always liked the shirts, despite being a Celtic fan from Glasgow. Blues, light blue, sky blue is my favourite colour. I was always attracted to the light blue and the stripes, and obviously he had the long flowing locks and caught my imagination. And then obviously Diego Maradona, unbelievable. James Mills says 78. Was it 78? I thought it was earlier than that. Yes, I've always been attracted to Argentina, and obviously Messi now. Not just individuals, the team, and just, yeah, the atmosphere back then, I mean, was electric. What's this one? Bernie, what do you think about Gareth then? Should he stay? Should he go? With Frank? Well, I said earlier, regarding Frank, regarding Gareth, he's ideal for England. I mean, he talks well, he's considerate. He's probably, excuse me, a sense of nodding donkey. Doesn't say anything contentious or controversial. Some people describe him as boring, but he's got all the qualities that the FA crave. Cast your mind back. Brian Clough, Borough boy. 2 European Cups back to back. Unbelievable at Derby. Won the league. Nottingham Forest, 2 European Cups. Couldn't get the England job. Why? Because he was a character. He had an opinion. He was straight-laced. Sharp talker. Didn't want that. And he grew on, should he remain England manager? But without a doubt, I mean, Euro final World Cup semi-final, World Cup quarter-final. That's a good record. And as I say, there's some great young lads there. There really is. If I read these out. I used to love the World Cup Brazil. We like Highland Globetrotters. Remember the Globetrotters? I'm trying to think. Metalog Lemon, was he a Globetrotter? Is that a name? Metalog Lemon? I think I used to watch the old Globetrotters on the telly when I was a kid. Black and white telly. Who's going to win it, Benny? I've mentioned that France or Argentina, so he's obviously got France and Argentina in the final like me. That's for me. Oh, sorry, it's for Mary, lady. As I say, France, Argentina, I think it will be Mary, and Argentina, I think will win it. Saying that, I thought Brazil would have won it, the whole thing, but not to be. How did your holiday go? I noticed you see Morris in Brooklyn. For Tom. Get off the beaten track, no talk about England, no talk about Middlesbrough, just want to talk about me in Brooklyn. Bernie in Brooklyn, excuse me. Tom enjoyed it. Went to Brooklyn, capacity crowd, I mean it, hold on. Metalot Lemon, not sure of the spelling, yeah, I agree. Would you like to see Morocco win the World Cup? What a story that would be for Josh or Arnold. Joshua, you're no kidding. Do you know what? In a sort of a perverse way, yeah, I would love to see so-called minnow country winning it. Can you imagine? Morocco, World Cup winners. That'd be a bit like Leicester winning the Premier League. Happens once every 100 years or whatever, or 200. It'd be incredible. Yeah, I would love it. That'd be fantastic. Kempis, I remember him. He was a top player. 10 minutes. As we call him Friday. Yeah, Mario Kempis. You remember him? If you're a young kid, look up Mario Kempis. He was the guy who got me into Argentina as a boy. They played in the final. They won it, didn't they? They won that too. I'm sure they did. The flowing locks, the ticker tape, the stadium was electric. I mean, I thought that Qatar was a very good World Cup, I have to be honest. It's still a good World Cup, but there's been a few big surprises. But back then, the atmosphere at that particular one, when everything was flying through the air, was amazing. If you're a young kid, watch it. See what I'm talking about. Where are we? Jerry, Messi. Oh, so he's asking me. Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Pele, Maradona are best. Is that our best or our best? You're talking about George Best. I think you're talking about George Best. Well, George Best never played in the World Cup, so George Best, Malcolm McDonald, who I used to work on the Legend Show with, who was one of England's top, well, he scored 5 last England played to score 5 against Cyprus. Waiters, it was the Waiters, I'm sure it was. No, Malcolm scored 5. He's still the record, but Malcolm says that George Best was the best player he ever seen. Same hairdo as you back then, Bernie, for James Mills. Yeah, he did. Yeah, maybe that's where the long locks came for. Yeah. Oh, I loved them. So Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Pele, Maradona are best for me. Best player I've ever seen in my lifetime, I have to say Maradona. Diego Maradona. Why Maradona? Because I look at George Best never played in the World Cup, so we can't gauge him on that. Neymar is a moaning prat. Scored a wonder goal the last game there before they got knocked out. But I've watched him in Europe. I've watched him in games like this. I know he's level with Pele and can take over Pele. He's took over Pele's right hand. So he must be brilliant. But I ain't seen it any time I've watched him. I see him doing more moaning than anything. So Ronaldo, totally different player. Messi and Ronaldo. Messi's amazing. If I was to pay to watch Messi or Ronaldo, it would be Messi, because Messi is like a Ryan Giggs. People used to say Ryan Giggs or David Beckham. Well, if I was paying customer, I'd watch Ryan Giggs every time, because Ryan Giggs beat 4 and 5 players. Beckham couldn't do that. But if I was a centre forward, would I want Giggs to cross the ball at Beckham? I'd want Beckham. But when I look at Messi and Ronaldo, both of them ultra protected in the modern game. You look at Maradona. Maradona was getting kicked there. I've got his DVD in here somewhere. Unbelievable. He was getting kicked. He used to give it out as well, but he wasn't protected. He gets some bad injuries. Adeli's spelling again. Who was the other one that signed for Spurs? It was big news at the time. Yeah, I can see. Do you know, I had an Argentinian shirt with both Adelis and the big man that scored the wonder goal at Wembley. Bernie, paid to watch you. No. Oh, paid to watch me at football. No, on here. You don't pay on here. Paid to watch me. Well, thanks for that. Hey, it was cheap, wasn't it? What was it, about £2 back then? Ozzy Ardelius and Ricky, his first name was Ricky, somebody tell us his name, Ricky Villa. Remember Ricky Villa? Remember he scored in the cup final? He beat about 5 of them. He just walked, he had a big beard and that in the hair. Great names, isn't it? Ozzy Ardelius and Ricky Villa. My best player was you, Bernie, James Mills. James Mills, I know who he is now. James Mills, if you don't know, some of the people watching it probably, well, any of my mates watching this, I don't think they do, they see enough of me during the week. He's my mate in Glasgow, who was, I was his best player because he made me a lot of good player. He made me actually make it because he used to drink, smoke, gamble, go out with a woman. I didn't do any of the 4. I concentrated in football. I bet you looks at me now, Millsy, I bet you look at me now and think, I would have took the road you took, Bernie. You took the wrong road, big man. Maradona went down, my estimation, for cheating with his handball. What a load of twaddle. Leslie, away. Maradona. It's up to the ref to see it. He couldn't get there with his head. Shotman's come out. Your instinct takes you there. That's what you do, and then you expect to get disallowed. So that's like me saying Thierry Henry, I hate him, I despise him, he's a cheater. I call it gamesmanship. Some people call it cheating. Thierry Henry put the Republic out the qualifying games, go to the World Cup. Remember that? I watched it, and I thought, you twat, and then I thought, do you know what? I would have done it. I think it was about 250 in the Holgate, Bernie. 250. What, you want your money back, like? It just says Butterfly. He's hiding behind the Butterfly. He's not giving me his name. Yeah, so regarding cheating, okay then, we play last game of this season. We play some, I know it's not because the fixtures are out, but say it was some, but whoever it was, last game of the season, and you can get a penalty or you can put it in with your hand, and you know you're going to get away with it to get Middlesbrough promoted. Would you do it, Leslie? And by the way, you would do it. You definitely would do it. I know you would. But any decent man out there, would you do it? I'm saying that. I think I'm a decent man, but I would do it. It's called gamesmanship. You don't go out and say, I'm going to handball today, I'm going to do this. You go and you try and get it with any part of your anatomy, and it's just instinct. I used to pay 60 pence in the boys' end. 60 pence. Wow. Dear God. Must be some age. Some of you people is watching. 6 pence. 6 pennies. Is that the big round ones? We've got 5 minutes. I'm going to try and read through it. Bernie, can you dance like the Brazilians? For jump. Jump, what kind of name's that? Jump. Yeah, well, that made me laugh. It made me laugh, made me sort of angry. People say Roy Keane said, there was a few says it. There was a couple of pundits on the television says it. There was a couple on the national radio says it. That Brazil were out of order for dancing. Colourful, vibrant, entertainment, culture. Wasn't pre-planned, wasn't premeditated. If you want to talk about dancing, England's the best dancers of all. They've been dancing to the tunes of the FA and FIFA for years. So England's better dancers than Brazil, whether you like it or not. I can hear you say, no, because you're non-English. I would say it. Scotland. They all dance to the tune of the FA, or the SFA up there. That means sweet. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because a lawbreaker. Oh, come on, Leslie. The majority of people, anybody that plays football, whether it's a Sunday league, whatever, you go, if you're going to score a goal, and you're in a position to score a goal, you'll go legally, but you will do anything to get that ball in the net. I never dived. I can't remember ever cheating diving for a penalty or putting in my hand. I can't remember doing that. I tell you who done it. I'm sure Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank done it against Sunderland. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong before we go. Love the Brazil dance. It's what they do. Of course it is, Neil. Of course it is. Dance. Brazilians dance. You remember Romario? I remember Romario getting Big Pal and Steve Bruce a run around. Mind the Brazilian Romario? He loved a dance and a drink, didn't he? I think he went missing. AWOL once he ended up in the Copacabana beach doing the old dance and that. Grealish is on his arse more than I've eaten pies. I'll tell you what, Leslie, Grealish is on his arse because nobody can take the ball off him. They have to kick him. I think Grealish is a great player. I really do. As I say, I mentioned him, Foden and company, great players, great future. England's got some terrific young lads there. And by the way, I have to say, Harry Kane, well done, Harry Kane. He showed he's got balls, a big man. He's been ridiculed, persecuted, left out the Man United team. Gareth was criticised for keeping him in the squad. Never let Gareth down. Gareth was right. I don't see everybody saying, hey, well done, Gareth. You stuck behind him. The nation was criticising him and persecuting him and castigating him. You stuck by him. And he had a good World Cup. He was one of the best. I was talking to Heine Otto lately, if you remember him. I've heard of Heine Otto. I've never met Big Heine. What nationality was he? Dutch, Heine Otto? I heard Heine Otto was a great player. Somebody says, Bernie, what do you make of the panellists these days? That's for Jane. Jane's obviously a lady. Well, I'll be honest, I think it's all about ticking boxes. Well, it is about ticking boxes, we know it is. But, hey, is that Loose Women? Is that still going on, that afternoon programme? Have they any men on it yet? Is it still all women? I don't know the answer. I don't watch Loose Women. I don't watch loads of things. But I'm just thinking. I remember the days of Brian Clough, Paddy Crerand, Bob Moncur, Big Jack Charlton. Who was the other one? There was another one. Derek Dugan, Wolves, centre forward with the big side bangers when they retired. Malcolm Allison, former Borough manager, Man City manager. I remember those guys. Those were characters, big ties, big opinions, big egos. I look now, wishy-washy drivel in the main. Doesn't do it for me. As I say, you're not allowed to give opinion. You have to watch. You can't criticise. You're not allowed to say anything. So, anyway, I do. But, yeah, so it's obviously totally changed now. For the better, not in my opinion, but you pay your licence, you get what they tell you to get. They need to get Roy Keane on Loose Ladies. Neil Husson, you can't say that, Neil, that's outrageous. I'm going to complain to Ofcom for that. Yeah, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Roy Keane on Loose Ladies. Yeah, Loose Women is still on. Anybody tell me the answer, please, before I leave. I can't sleep at night for thinking that. Come on, there must be a man on that panel now. 2022. I don't know the answer. A few of these, then we're finished. I'm 1 minute away, but I'm going to read these. Gareth done not bad considering we sacked him. Well, our club sacked him. Joey, obviously, referring to his Middlesbrough career. Yeah, as I say, when Gareth gets sacked, I thought we should have kept him. And he should have been sacked before that, and we didn't. Anyway, I'm a Gareth fan. Matty, 12th in the league, not bad, Wolfman. Hey, you're right. I mean, we're 4 points off 6th place Preston. Is that right? If my maths is good enough. And 6 points off the third bottom or something like that. We were before we went to the show anyway. Jerry, oi, Slaven. Wait, you hear this one? I read it the good and bad. Oi, Slaven. I don't like you. Never have liked you. Okay, you scored a few goals, but you were crap. Scottish-Irish windbag. Jerry, thanks for those lovely comments. I appreciate those. That's the way I like it. Take a bit of stick. Took it to the terraces. Take it now. Don't give a flying. I'll read them out. If you want to criticise me, feel free. I'll still read them out. Bernie, I felt sorry for Gareth. Did you ever meet him? Well, at Borough, is he as nice as they say as he comes across? Lisa, I mentioned Gareth earlier. Yes, I've met him a couple of times. I like him. I'm not his pal. I don't know him greatly, but I have met him. I've had private conversations when he was a Borough manager, when he took the manager's job over. I remember telling him one thing. I said, you need to get rid of this staff because they don't give a shit about you. You're a new manager. They're Steve McLaren's staff. Took him a few months to do it, but eventually did. Where are we? Belinda says, is it true you went to the World Cup 1990? And how exciting was it? Belinda, I was fortunate to go with the late great Jack Charlton. I only played 2 games and I was in a World Cup squad. It was Italia 90. Jack Charlton, the manager. There were some great players in the Ireland squad at the time. There was John Aldridge. There was Ronnie Whelan, Liverpool. I think John Aldridge was Real Sociedad at the time. Paul McGrath, Man United, Villa, centre-back, one of the best I've seen. It was just littered with international players. Ray Houghton for the same estate as me. Republic up front. Tony Cascarero does top sport now. Niall Quinn. There was David Kelly. There was Kevin Sheedy who scored against England. Don't forget we had England. It was a draw, 1 each. I think Lineker scored and Kevin Sheedy scored. And then I think it was Egypt. And then Holland. They were 2 draws. And then the penalty shootout I mentioned earlier was Romania. And the winners So and I remember Hadji. His son was playing for Rangers. I think he's still at Rangers. Well, Hadji is probably the best player that Romania ever produced. I knew about Hadji and I watched him for the bench. Like, what a player! He must have had 20 shots that day, never scored. Anyway, went to penalty shootout and the Republic progressed to the quarter final, just like England on Saturday. And it was against Italy in Rome. And I always remember sitting on the grass with Paul McGrath and all the lads and Big Jack. We were all just sitting there watching the game before our game. And that was like surreal, you know. We're lying in the turf. The fans were coming. We were all just lying there chewing the grass and watching the game before ours. And then the game took place in the host nation, Italy. Scalacci scored the winner, a lad with the piercing eyes. And that was us. We were back. But was it exciting? No. I'm going to be honest. Back then it was boring. We had no internet. We had no iPhones. We had no iPads. We were in a acclimatising 10 nights in a hotel in Malta, where it was only the players. There was about 100 bedrooms, but only us players, staff and cooks. And it was boring. Could only sunbathe when Big Jack told us. Yeah. So, no, I have to say now the technology and everything's changed, hasn't it? Technology is fantastic these days. You've got FaceTime, you've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, you've got everything going on. Back then, nothing. If you phoned your parents, you had to go into a phone box. Gary Pallister has the privilege of being on my school team picture. Freddie Natras School. That's going back a few years. I missed your name. I was ready. I think it was Stephen. That's on YouTube. Anyway, listen. Thanks very much for joining us. I'll be back again since Saturday. Facebook Live. So thanks for joining us. Up the borough. Well done Saturday to Michael Carrick and the players and the fans. Made a great noise. Got me in the team. Well done to England quarterfinals. Disappointing for my sons, my mates, and as I say, I've been here 38 years. I've got an opinion in England. Because you're not English doesn't mean you've got an opinion. I thought that was the biggest test, and they faltered just. But anyway, good night. Thanks for joining. Up the borough, and I'll get this off. Let's see. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Cheers, Stephen. Thanks.